What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today, ETH, USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 26th day of September, and here we are at about $3,953. Man, what a wicked dump for Ethereum. Down 11% this week. You guys, the average altcoin this week, the others chart here, which is a good measure for what the average altcoin has done. This chart's down 8%. Ethereum's down 11. This is crazy. Understand, when Ethereum drops 11%, this normally would then mean that the others chart would drop 15%, 22%, right? Something more. The fact that Ethereum's dropped a lot, I think, is a strong testament to the fact that there were a ton of long positions on Ethereum. Now there's not. Hold on. There were a ton, though. If it loads. And now they're decimated, man. They're gone. They're just obliterated, completely gone, you guys. So the longs outweighed the shorts not but a week ago. Not even half a week ago they outweighed the shorts, and now the shorts over the past 30 days are outweighing the longs. So $15 billion. You guys, we have just as many shorts on Ethereum as we do on Bitcoin over the past month. Isn't that crazy? 15 billion to 1.7 billion. That's awesome. Now, I do think Bitcoin has lower to go. I don't think that it's done. Ethereum might be at its low. As crazy as that sounds, Bitcoin can move lower. Ethereum might hold its low here. The low that we have is $3,826, which admittedly is a little lower than I thought. The lowest target I gave was 3,890, I'm pretty sure. So it's a little bit lower, just a little bit lower than what I thought we'd do. It's not really at an area that makes sense, but at the same time, looking at it, it is, right? We're at this area where we found resistance before. We're right here. Right there. That's where we're finding support now. And depending on what we do between now and the end of the week, going into next week, what we do over this like end of month kind of period, I think will really validate if this is the low or if it isn't the low. If we have lower to go, I'll talk about that. We'll go over all that as well, but just crazy. Crazy that Ethereum has dropped so much. The amount of longs that got flushed out, man. Oh, man. Crazy, crazy stuff. Some longs have gotten piled on in the past day. Let's see. Wow, so the longs actually outweigh the shorts over the past 24 hours. Isn't that something? That in itself might make us go a little bit lower, right? Longs outweighing the shorts at the bottom. That's not a good look. At least over the past 24 hours. Clearly the shorts outweigh the longs overall. But that's a lot of it's a large amount of longs to be put on here in this kind of non-proven environment for the low to be in. Let's look at the short-term stuff. Let's stop guessing and just do some more guessing, I guess, some more educated guessing. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll do that, and then we'll zoom back out to the daily. I have a feeling we'll see a lot of stuff on the daily time frame here. Looking at this right now, yeah, it kind of looks like you want to move up higher. These are some nice candles right here. I think that you do want to move up higher. Let's see. Stochastics look bullish enough. The MACD is bullish enough, but it's the 1 hour, so who cares? What about the RSI? The suspense is killing me, man. I'm just waiting for the... There we are. The RSI is bearish overall. We are in a bullish trend right now. We do have the higher lows and the higher highs, right? Where we are would be a rejection point, so maybe we do come down a little bit, but then we come up. So perhaps my initial impression was wrong. It was flawed. Maybe we do come down a little bit. We're at 39.50 right now. Come down to about 3,900. Maybe shake out some of these longs that got placed on, pile on some shorts, and then we'll come up and clear out those shorts. I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum moved up to about $4,100, $4,200. We're at 39.50 right now, so a little bit of a move up. And then do we move back down? Is it going to be a higher low? Is it going to be a lower low? Stuff like that. We might be able to answer on higher time frames. For now, overall, you do look bearish. If we're being honest, overall, you do look bearish. So I'm not getting a whole lot off this 1 hour. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to grow a little bit, okay? 4 hour time frame here. We do have bullish divergence, okay? You can see it on the MACD here, the histogram. Low here, higher low in the histogram. You see this? That is bullish divergence with the low and lower low. That would call for move up to basically where we were just talking about. So that makes sense. 4,300 at the highest, maybe something like that. People would start to be very bullish at that point in time. The RSI does not have bullish divergence, but it's more of a double bottom. Still a good look. Still a good look. I think that calls for the same kind of idea. Maybe we move up to about 41, to 4250, somewhere in that area. Okay, stochastics look bullish, bouncing off the oversold zone. Nice. I mean, overall bearish on all these indicators. Overall bearish, but you're at some key kind of turning points in all of these indicators at the same time. So I think that you will move up a little bit from here. Maybe what you do is you come up here and maybe we form an inverse head and shoulders pattern perhaps. And then we break down still. I don't know. Or we'll break up. It's very possible. Out of all the cryptos that I've talked about today, I think Ethereum is the most likely to have found its low. Honestly. And the reason why primarily is this right here. It's that. That's why. The shorts outweigh the longs dramatically. It's not even close. That's why. What else? Let's look at the daily time frame here. Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot off of this. Okay, so maybe even the weekly time frame might be where we get a lot. Let's see though. Low here to a high here. We hit the 1272. Nice. 4,000, 4150. That's a pretty common area to go to. Sometimes even the 736. Yeah, 786. 4240 to 4,060. That's the next target. Typically, you hit this zone when working your way down. So if we find resistance here, what I will say is that's not a good look. If you find resistance here and you come back down, it's not a good look to validate this as a low. That might provide the idea that we go down to 3740 or even 3600 as a ultimate target destination. Okay, so we really could go lower. If we do go lower, that would promote, let's see, from here, Ethereum to drop about another 5 to almost 10%, 9%, 5 to 9%. If Ethereum drops 5 to 9% at the current rate of dropping, then we'd expect the average altcoin to drop probably about 5 to 10% as well. It depends. If we find turbulence at this area between 4,060 and 4240, that doesn't mean that we have to go lower. But finding turbulence there would not be a good look. So I guess what you want to see is not just to move up to this area, but through this area. We get above 4380. That's how we validate that this is the low and that we are moving up higher. Okay. But for now, eyes are set on 4240 to 4060. Okay, somewhere in this area here. Okay. Let's see. What about the indicators? RSI is bearish at the moment, very bearish, but we could bounce. Come up and then move down to start off October. Yeah, maybe get some bullish divergence. I don't know. I'm starting to make a lot of sense of going lower, but it's too early to tell. It's very possible. I want you guys to understand it's very possible that yesterday was the low for Ethereum. That very well could have been it. Stochastics are bearish, but you're crossed up. Could promote some growth here going into the end of the month. MACD is crossing below the zero. That's bearish. I'm getting a little bit of a mix here on the daily. It's not helping me as much as I thought it would. The weekly time frame here could provide some insight with this low to high. This is really what I've been looking forward to, is just measuring this low to high. Ah, yes. See, for some reason I thought we were at the 236 now, but man, this might be the most compelling case, in my opinion, that we've looked at so far to determine that the price will go lower. Not that you have to find support at the 236, right? You don't have to. Here, you reached for it, but you didn't get there. Here, you reached for it, but you actually went through it. You know, reality is Ethereum could drop all the way down to $3,000, and that would actually be a very, very bullish area to bounce from. It would shake out the whole crypto space, man. If Ethereum dropped another $1,000 from here, that's crazy. I don't think we're going to do that. Let's put our, let's hold our horses real quick. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I do think a little bit lower, 36.67 sounds about right. That 236 right there. Are there any other fibs that line up with that? Let's take this high to low. It's your 886. It's pretty perfect. It's pretty damn perfect, you guys. Not perfect with that, but that's okay. We're not really respecting this fib anyways, so yeah, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think we actually do have lower to go. Do keep in mind, as I've said, it's completely possible that right now we have the low for Ethereum. This really could be the low in the price. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but there's nothing wrong with DCAing in here. There's nothing wrong with putting in some capital here. But I think if we wait about a week, maybe even into that first week of October, we'll probably see lower prices. Between now and the end of this month of September, we could see a little bit of growth up to that 4,200 area. 42.60, 42.40, whatever it was. $4,000 at least, something above there. And then going into whether we do that going into the end of the month and then we come down to the beginning of October. Maybe we move up first and then we come down into the end of the month and continue down into October, whatever, however it looks. I would expect that first week of October might be the week that we find our low. Timing is hard. Timing is hard to get, but I very much do expect that October is going to close with a very dramatic bullish candle, not just for Ethereum, but for the whole damn crypto space. So I have a hard time seeing us go all the way down to $3,000, right? 36.67 sounds about right to me. Something right around that area. That's the ultimate call. I don't have anything else that I want to say. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. And maybe stay away from leverage trading. Anybody who's leverage trading right now. Things are probably going to get real wicked here with the volatility. But again, I do assume up and then down. All right. Bye-bye.